So the other project that we're working on is the Grove Athletic Complex. And we talked a little bit earlier about how that started out, the committee and kind of community started talking about baseball diamonds being there. But one of the major things that everyone talked about was that they have to be regulation size so that we can hold tournaments. And you can't fit a regulation size field on that property. And so what came about that was having the ability to have 2 soccer fields there, regulation size, or you can make 6 youth soccer fields there. Also making that facility so it's fenced in, making parking available, making restrooms available, and making a concession area available there. And so that property will be really used well. The other thing it'll have is a walking path that'll be around it, and I know a lot of people in Milton-Freewater are looking for a place to walk and off the street, and so that will be a really nice, I think, addition to our community in that neighborhood area.
One thing I'd forgotten to ask you guys earlier, is there going to be a play set there somewhere?
There's been some conversation about making sure that there's some basketball areas there to play in, and there may be some play set areas, and that's still part of the conversation, that community conversation. So when we talk about things like that, I'm making a note of that, you know. One of the things that came up with that is kind of on the lines of the play set was making sure that it was fenced in. At first we were talking about, well, you know, do you really want to spend that money on the fence? Do you want it to have that feel? Until I talked about my 3-year-old. And I don't want my 3-year-old running onto the street. And so that's why, you know, one of the reasons why we talked about fencing it in, and that way, you know, in the spring, summer, and fall, when all these fields are just getting used every day, which will be great, it'll be a safe place to have them get used.
One of the questions that I've been asked is, why are we focusing, or why is this a portion of this grant? You would assume we're a school district, we would only focus on building a new school. And this was part of the stipulations that we were given from the Valley Foundation, is they didn't want another eyesore or empty building or something that wasn't useful to the community. So they requested that we build a sports complex that provided activities for our youth.